Let's see what happens with a state variable filter. Okay, so what I'm going to do now that I've sent my format filter, I'm going to make it a little more interesting. Go back to oscillator 3. I'm going to bring up my sequencer again. I'm going to right-click on the octave here, edit automation. That's control-click for those of you using a Mac. And I'm going to take oscillator 3 octave, and I'm just going to make a track. And create a little bump in the octave right here. And I don't really like how that's sustained. I think when it's sustained it sounds a little bit annoying, so I'm going to get rid of that. Turn this over to a 16th. Bring it up a little bit. And I'm just going to go every couple here and just nudge that up a little bit. And I'm going to do that again, kind of at the 4th measure, and apply it here. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm going to go back to the beginning here. One more thing we can do with the amp envelope is click on Thor, go back here, go to my automation, and pick, where's he at? Okay. Go back to my automation settings, and I'm going to pick the attack for the amp envelope. And again, new track, always got to do that now. But again, that makes it easier to move it around later. So let's zoom out. And what I'm just going to do here is it starts at 0. Around 4. I'm going to open it up a little bit. Let's see what that sounds like before we decide on that. Let's make sure it's exactly at 4. It's not. So I'm going to do one of these. Again, if they're being annoying, you can actually erase points and erase your annoyance factor at them getting in your way. Let's try that. So back to the... And if I like that, I can just copy that. But let's say real quick before I do copy it, I want to open that envelope even more. And that might have been a little bit overkill, so we'll bring it back down again. And let's say also I want to change the release there. So I'm going to go back to here and bring up in automation my release. So I go back to amp. Again, amp, not mod or filter. I want the amp release. Amp envelope release. Go inside and go down. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Okay. And we're just going to take the envelope release from 0. Let's find out where that spot is. Right there. You'll notice we can actually now have a visual cue. It's a lot easier to read than the old visual cues were in Reason 3. And I can see where my curve is. So there's my curve. And I want the release to go with that. So what I'm going to do is grab these. Open the release wide open. Let's erase some of these other points. Get these out of here. Yeah. And there we go. And let's make that hold for a little bit longer. So we drag that out. Okay, now let's listen to our clip. If you notice there's a little bit of distortion there, I think that's coming from the format filter, so we're going to pull that down to prevent that from happening. All right, there you have it. Those are the amp envelopes and the global envelope, LFOs, and third filter in Thor. I will be back on Gearwire.com soon with more on the delay, chorus, and the basic sequencer in Thor. I'm Bill Holland for Gearwire.com.